Endgame. What can't you tell me?
Everything. I mean, my hope is, I haven't seen the film either, but I hope that this is a cathartic experience for the audience. And I hope that it has a bittersweet, satisfying feeling for people. You know, that's what I love to take away when I watch a movie, is that sort of, you know, kind of an ennui, sort of, you know, a little longing, not totally wrapped up in a bow.
Right. Do you think it should have an intermission? It's a long one.
Do I think it should have an intermission?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like people can handle 3 hours. Yeah. I don't remember what the running time of Infinity War was. It must have been somewhere around-ish the 3-hour mark. Mm-hmm. And I found it to be just like riveting.
Yeah, I rewatched it last night and it goes like that.
Yeah, it goes by really fast.
Intended.
Yeah, right. But I think it's okay. I have faith. People can handle it. Yeah. Bring some almonds. Okay.
It's a Black Widow movie. We're finally going to see one.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not able to say a thing. Earlier today, Kevin was like, we haven't announced anything. I was like, I don't know.
Why haven't we seen one sooner?
I think everything happens when it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
All I'll say is that I think I have a greater understanding of the character now than I ever possibly could have had before. And I think that whatever, you know, iteration you see of this character, may or may not see of this character in the future, will be the better because of it.
I did a panel discussion with Chris Marcus and Steve McFeely, and they said the hardest character to write for is Black Widow.
Really? Why?
Because she doesn't say much. Because she's very stoic.
Yeah, she is stoic, I guess. You know, I think she's a cerebral person, and she takes action, and she's very pragmatic, and she's a thinker. You know, I think she chooses her words carefully, and that's the type of person she is.
What's going on with her and the Hulk? A little flirtation that went on in Infinity War.
Yeah, I think these characters, they have a history, obviously. I think in some alternate universe, maybe a future. But, this character, I think, has a understanding of her ultimate destiny as a superhero, and that there's a kind of greater cause. And she chooses that in Avengers 2. She chooses to, they both do. And even though there's perhaps some longing, or, you know, I think she realizes, and it's certainly heartbreaking, but there's, again, I use the word bittersweet, but there's a bittersweetness to it. I think she realizes that perhaps the other alternate life is just not in the cards for her this time around.
Wouldn't it be scary to get intimate with Bruce Banner?
In what way do you mean?
You know, if things aren't going right, all of a sudden he turns into the Hulk in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what he's terrified of. You know, he's terrified of that. But as she says, she's like,
Black Widow could handle it.
Yeah, she's like, I understand, you know, I'm not afraid of you. And also, she herself feels unhinged at times, and she's also afraid of her capability, I think, in a way, and grapples with that, and continues to grapple with that. That's kind of a running theme for her.
So Captain Marvel, Black Panther, diversity is winning. It works. Did you ever think there'd be a time where we were talking about diversity? Me Too, Time's Up, all of this that's going on in Hollywood where, 5 years ago we weren't talking about any of this?
You know, I think I always imagined that we are a progressive society, and that, you know, obviously, like, long-lasting change takes time, and it's we sort of ebb and flow. We go back, and then we go forward, and then we go back a few steps, and we go forward. You know, but I like to think of our society as a progressive one, and I certainly feel very excited to be experiencing all of this now. I mean, it's pretty powerful and profound.
Who are you thinking about for 2020? Because you were for Hillary last time.
It's funny. I was just talking to Don about that. I don't know necessarily that there's a clear candidate in my mind quite yet, although now is certainly the time to back someone. I think I have to do a little soul searching, but I think the Democratic Party is broken in a lot of ways and just damaged from these past several years. For me, if there was one candidate that I felt that we could all unite behind, certainly like that would be the candidate that I would back.
Do you see that candidate yet?
I think they're there. They're out there, certainly. I mean, it's been a strange few weeks, but I I think it was clear, and then it
Right.
became sort of unclear.
Do you think do you think he has a shot after everything that's happened with him?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
President Obama just made some statement saying how the more left side of the Democratic Party, sometimes they're too purist, and it's turning into a circular firing squad.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I do think that's true.
How do we get out of that?
It's hard. I don't know. It seems like a fundamental problem. It's really, it's hard with a two-party system. It really is. I mean, until we embrace some other way, I think we're going to continue to have this crisis, and it'll get better and worse. But again, I think it's a fundamental problem with a two-party system.
Have you ever thought about running?
No, I don't. Not really.
Because you're passionate and you know your stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe sometime in the future. I think the greatest way to affect change is, in local politics, and maybe at some point in the distant future, I will feel that calling, but I just haven't.
I want to see it.
Okay, you can be my campaign manager.
Thanks.
I don't know what I'm running for yet, but
When do you want to start directing some features?
I would like to direct. Of course, I would like to direct. It's like after a certain amount of years, you sort of. I feel like I'm behind the ball now to find something. I guess I just haven't found that project yet that has captured my attention and to take the time to dedicate to directing. But it'll show itself. I'll find it. I'll dig it out. I started a production company called These Pictures a couple of years ago, and so right now I'm working on producing stuff for myself, stuff for other actors and directors, and that's kind of my main focus.
Fun questions. How well do you know your Avengers co-star? Has Robert Downey Jr. won an Oscar? If so, for what movie?
No, he is not.
Wow, you knew that quick.
He reminds us every day.
Chris Hemsworth, was he on Australia's Dancing with the
Yes, he
Stars?
was. It was. I know, because I've definitely rewatched that footage many times. Sent it to a bunch of folks. Yeah.
And which Avenger was a stripper before they made it big?
I'm going to say Renner.
You're like the third or fourth person. Who keeps saying Renner? Why is Renner the stripper?
Because he's got like a really good like sort of squat lunge that he does, and I feel like that would work on stage with like no pants. I don't know. Who was it?
Chris Pratt.
Oh, really?
Yep. When he was in Hawaii. He said he wasn't very successful though.
Uh-huh.
Does he not have a good, what was it, a lunge squat? What did you call it?
Yeah, something like that. Lunge squat, something like that. Yeah, he was?
You said it.
My, oh my. I thought he was real vanilla, but I guess not.
Got a little
A
stripper
little
in him.
spice in there. Got a little, we all,
We have a little
no,
stripper.
we don't all have a little stripper in us. I certainly don't.
I don't.
You don't either?
There was that one. Never
There was
mind.
that one
We're
time.
going to stop now.
Thank you very much.